Well, hello guys, welcome back. I wanted to make a video for you because I noticed I was having weird symptoms lately. And this happens every time I try to manifest. So I can tell you right now the manifesting didn't work out for me. It kind of did, but it kind of didn't, because I have one of those driven personalities where I can never do just a little of something. I have to do way too much of it and go overboard and make myself and everybody around me sick of it. It's something I can't help. Maybe there's some kind of fancy disease they could diagnose me with, but I always go overboard and I get, very focused and intent on it. And Loki had started showing up as Odin because poor Loki was at his wit's end. Basically, what I was doing is telling Loki, this is all the stuff I want, and there's nothing wrong with telling God what you want. And I wanted all the stuff done on the house. I wanted stuff done on my garage. I wanted stuff done on my property. And there's nothing wrong with, thinking, oh, that would be nice to have. There isn't. But I wanted all this done. Then I wanted some personal stuff taken care of. Then I wanted all my health issues taken care of. And then I wanted, oh, by the way, I wanted this thing over here too. And that's all way too much to pile onto a god, especially when after you've piled all these requests onto the god, you say, oh, and by the way, I'm never going to be happy until I get all this stuff, and you've personally failed me if I don't get everything I want. That is not how our gods work, and I know that. That's especially not how Loki works, which is why I kept trying to sneak away and work with the universe, because Loki is a practical god. It's not that he doesn't love us, but if something is functioning very well, Loki is not going to be the kind of god to go, oh my god, there's one little ding in it, I better replace it. He might, just to make a fool out of me, but usually he's not. He's a god that if he's telling you to replace something, it's really bad for you. You should probably replace it. And it had been Loki trying to get my attention in as dramatic ways as possible lately. And I noticed the green light is completely black now. It's completely gone out, but in a day or so it'll be back on. I don't know how lights work, but I didn't think that was possible, but we're dealing with Loki here. And I was just putting way too much stress and responsibility on his shoulders, so I think he gave up and he showed up as Odin. And it would not make sense how Odin would be here and then there would be a pause and then Loki would be here and answering, but I was just like, well, maybe my discernment's off. My discernment was off because, and this can happen to anyone, it's very easy to let fear take over, especially when you start trying to manifest for stuff, especially when you have the attitude with your god, as I have with Loki, of, well, he's never going to give me all this stuff I want, so I can't depend on him and I can't rely on him for this, so I'm going to go over here and get it. And not only is that wrong-headed, but it also led to me fearing that Loki wasn't going to take care of me at all. We went from me knowing Loki will always meet my basic needs, and whatever Loki thinks you need may not be what you think you need, to, I don't think this god's going to take care of me at all. I have to take all the responsibility for my future on my shoulders, so I have to go out and learn how to manifest like crazy. And I was watching all this crazy woo, like how to heal yourself and all this other crazy stuff that we know doesn't work, and we know it doesn't work because if this had worked, we live in the age of cell phones. Somebody would have actually legitimately figured this stuff out, and we'd all be doing it, we'd all be doing it. And it really hurt Loki, but instead of abandoning me, as some gods may have, not to disrespect any gods, but he just decided, well, I'm going to show up as another god, and I'm going to keep promising you whatever you want until you relax enough, and then I'm going to let you know you're not going to get everything you want. But then today, as he fully came back up as himself for a couple hours, we were playing and being happy, and then it kind of sunk in that all this stuff I was trying to manifest was not going to come, because I was a real cozy glow and warm cuddlies in my heart, because I was daydreaming about like all these trips I was going to go on and all this stuff that I was going to have and being able to do whatever. And I don't even know if it was Freya that showed up or poor Loki. And the gods were like agreeing with me, so I was like not sure of my discernment. And it's not bad or wrong to want things. we're a species that likes to travel. We're a species that likes to have nice things. We like to do all these things. But, sometimes for whatever reason, Loki will tell you it's not coming. Now, I do believe Loki's a god of the impossible. I believe if you tell Loki he can't do something, he'll do it just to prove you wrong. But I do believe that if he keeps telling you he's not going to give you something for whatever reason, it might be best, and I've had to learn this the hard way, to let it go. Because the funny thing is, I kept getting a bee in my bonnet about being able to travel again. And the thing is, I like being different places, I really do, but I actually hate the travel itself. Like, I enjoyed the car ride I had on my birthday, or the day before my birthday. But if I were back to doing that every day, traveling and everything, I would be immensely bored. I know I would be. So sometimes it's a case of we don't know what we want. We just want to be happy is what we really want. So, I just wanted to talk about that. Sometimes we place very unfair expectations on our gods, and I'm as liable to do it as anybody else. And poor Loki was, just going crazy because I was telling him, as I said, I want all this stuff done on the house. I want all this stuff done in the garage. I want all this stuff done in the yard. I want this beautiful garden. That would have been enough. But then I'm saying, well, then I want this done in my health, and I want this done in my personal life, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. And if you don't give all this to me, I'm going to go manifest it. And Loki kept pulling at me, but what about Loki? I was like, well, I'm going to manifest, and when I have all this stuff, then I'll have Loki. And of course, it was never going to come, so it was poor Loki. And we have to sometimes think about stuff like that. And I knew it was like sometimes we have to do our shadow work and face our fears. Loki did stealth healing on me last night and had me face all those fears. And he's like, the reason you've been going so crazy and overwhelming yourself is because you basically don't trust me to take care of you. Now, I had to be the one to say that first. And I had to work through all this. Why am I doing all this manifesting and everything else? And I just took it too far. And if I've learned anything, I've learned there are certain things I can't do. I can't sit down and have one drink. I can't sit down and eat like one potato chip. That's never going to happen. And I can't do anything like manifesting or anything else and just leave it be. I can't just walk away. I have a very addictive personality. So the manifestation did not work out for me. But I told you guys, I would tell you, and that is why I never wanted to give you a link to the particular video, because I thought, a lot of Lokeans, we do have addictive personalities and behavior. A lot of Lokeans have had, alcohol or drug issues or, mental health issues. So it's sometimes a very dangerous tool to put in the hands of a Lokean. Here's this thing for you to obsess about, go have fun. That's not always the healthiest thing to do for us. And I noticed we're going to get like really severe thunderstorms for like the next 4 or 5 days. And I was almost going frantic. And you guys know me. I love the rain. I love thunder and lightning, all this other good stuff. And I'm like, why am I going frantic? And I thought, well, it's because I've gotten to the point where I've got myself so worked up over this manifesting that I've stopped trusting in Loki's ability to take care of it, which is not a good look for me, and it's not right to do to Loki, because he can take care of us. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to serve him, because I get lovely emails quite often, or if they're not emails, they're comments. I usually get lovely comments that I hope you guys don't get to see before I get to them. And I know it can be hard to serve Loki. I know it can be hard, especially, I don't want to join a group, but if you want to join a group, I know it can be hard to serve Loki, because not everybody will even speak about Loki or wants him toasted or anything else. And he did do a lot of stuff I talked about on, what is it, Patreon today. So there's a goodie over there for you on Patreon. That if you didn't love him and understand his holy nature, you would be frightened of him, because he can interfere with stuff for your attention or to try to speak to you. And I'm not crying, you're crying. He was just frantic that I was not hearing him, which is why I've been getting a lot of weird audio stuff with audio feedback, and like my one speaker was like popping all the VR and everything, and I haven't been seeing him, which is, I think, why the lights now permanently off. Maybe he has finally killed that ball for once and for sure for awesome. I'm actually looking at it, expecting it to go on. But it's been uncanny. He's been doing everything he can, guys. These cats have been going off when they shouldn't be going off at very specific, timely times. It's happened far too much for it to just be coincidence at this point. Loki will use electronics to communicate with you, and he was desperate to have me give him at least a tiny little bit of faith. Now, if you have social anxiety and you have fears or you have depression, that he will understand that. He's not asking us, oh, just toughen up and get over it. But he is asking for at least a tiny bit of faith. And I realized I've been treating him very poorly, and I told you guys I would be honest with you, and that's why he decided to go play Odin. Or perhaps Odin was here for a while, I will never truly know, but I know it's Loki now, and Loki's back. And we're going to have 4 or 5 days of rain. So I was like, I have to get myself calmed down, because I was like, how am I going to go through 4 or 5 days of rain? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what's going to happen to the house? And I'm like, why am I going hysterical over rain? Okay, we're having thunderstorms, but still, why am I going hysterical over thunderstorms? I'm a pagan. So it was my over manifesting caused a lot of anxiety issues for me, so that was not a good fit for me. And you can hear the thunder. And Loki did ask me to do practical things. He said, do be ready. He's not predicting it. He said, but if the power goes out, I need you to be ready. He said, if there's anything you're going to want, if the power will go for a couple of days, make sure you have it. So we have everything we need, I think. I hope. We'll find out. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.